Concord Weekend Beta 2 has come and gone, and while I thoroughly enjoyed the game, it wasn't a sentiment shared by most of the community, and in turn, Concord looks to be dead at launch. When you look at the Steam player count, the Steam player count for this game capped out at 2,300 players. That is not good whatsoever. Yes, it was on the Epic Game Store, but nobody really plays there. And the end result is that is not good. And it's unfortunate for me because I enjoy this game. I actually think it is pretty good. I don't think it's like anything crazy or some next big thing, but I did enjoy it and I did have fun. And from a lot of the people that I talked to, there were some who couldn't get into it and there were some who did. And it's unfortunate. I feel for the team at Firewalk Studios because they are capable of making a good first person shooter. But there's a variety of reasons why this game is just not appealing. One big reason is the art style. We all know, artistically speaking, this game, at best, you could call it subjective. Most people don't like the aesthetics of the game. As I said in my previous video, the game is a good-looking game technologically, but artistically, it doesn't jive with a lot of people. And that's a big one. The other big one was the fact that it is a hero shooter that's tied to a $40 box price. Again, an issue that many people have brought up because Overwatch is there, free to play. Fragpunk, when that comes out next year, that's free to play. You have Marvel Rivals, which is having a closed beta this week. It's free to play. I mean, where do you fit $40? And that's another issue. Then of course there's some who just either don't like the gameplay loop. The slow pace is not for everybody. A lot of people like fast pace, instant gratification, but for the brunt of the players out there, they are more keen to fast paced games, not slow paced games. So there is a variety of reasons why people would not like Concord. So for anyone who is interested in picking up Concord, I would say probably don't, especially if you're on PC. Don't buy it. Save yourself the money. Maybe the game goes free to play, and in that case, by all means. But as a paid product, at least for PC players, I wouldn't recommend it because of that price point and the fact that only 2,300 players max played this at one time during a free beta. That being said, however, I will say that if you're playing on PlayStation, things appear to be much better. Now, we do not have access to the raw numbers. Sony doesn't do that, so we don't know what the concrete numbers are. What I can say is, based on my own experience, playing on PlayStation was a much better experience in terms of queue times. The gist of it all is, on average, if I was to play Brawl on PC, I had to wait 30 seconds or so because the player count is so low. And cross-play is optional. You can turn it off for PlayStation players. However, when I played on PlayStation, I could find a rivalry or aka competitive match with no respawns in under a minute. Brawl matches, I would hit the button to start and literally within 5 seconds I'm in a match. So the queue times for PlayStation was much shorter than it was on PC. So I can only think that the player count is much higher on PlayStation than it is on PC. Does that mean that the player count will be large enough to support a live service game? I mean, in my opinion, I doubt that. But if you are to buy this game, if you liked it enough and you want to buy this game, if you have a PlayStation 5, that's where I would say buy it. Because the player count appears to be, based on my experience, much higher on PlayStation than it is on PC. So for me, if you're going to buy it on PlayStation. But if you're on PC, I would say don't bother. It's the player count's just not there, and it's pretty much dead in my opinion, considering what the competition is. Unless they go free to play, which even then ain't gonna do much, but it could still help. But if not, I would say Concord is as good as dead on arrival, in my opinion. But overall, PlayStation players, if you want, buy it there. It is a fun game. I enjoyed it. I look forward to its release. But at the same time, I cannot in good faith recommend it to players, especially PC players, when the player count is obviously so low. This is Veteran Gamer, and I hope to see you guys next time.